Not going to no gas stations. Don't stop at no gas stations. Stop sitting at lights. Run them lights. Don't get nothing to eat in the city. Go on the outskirts. If you're on this side of the city, go to Jersey. If you're on this side, go to Albany or something. Look at gas and food. You don't gotta be in the city, bro. Do not stop at no gas stations. Don't be meeting motherfuckers at nighttime. Like I said, don't be sitting in no wheels for a long time. What he do? He didn't have to go outside and do that, bro. He could have hopped in the wheel and went home to his family, bro. He could have avoided that situation. A lot of these situations people could avoid, but it be pride. And motherfucking pride be getting them killed, bro.
In the shade-time calling me, but I keep declining. Record labels on my line, I told life keep responding. You really got this shit, bloody. You really got this shit, bloody. No bullshit. Oh, they throwing dirt up on the diamond. Quilly keep on shining. Stuff 42 shots up in this ladder. You gon' keep on climbing. Shooting like it's your ski. Perfect timing. Drillers with me every day. I touch them and they pass the assignment. You flexing with your line money. That work on consignment. I'm posted with a rocket launcher. Rondo number 9. My feet on the land. Feet up on your bitch couch. I put my feet all in that work, nigga. Whip drought. Fear law. I put my feet all in that work. Too up top cause I think niggas coming, but that's all in my head. Niggas came, but then they left with God, cause now them niggas. Bloody told me focus on your money, Quilly get your bread. I asked the law, remove my enemies, my friends disappeared. I got 6 figures on the line and 50,000 on the floor. I'm about to pull up and I got 20,000 at my door. Bitch, I do this day and night, Quilly really, I'll be sure. At Poppy House eating the plate, nigga, I really got it pure. Pray 5 times a day, I'm holy, bitch, my body pure. You play any time of day, you holy, ain't your body so. What you think my youngins in the field play soccer for? I done put so many points up, I ain't gotta score. Stanley trophy on my wrist from all them hockey scores. I remember standing in the rain in front of poppy stores. My feet on the land, feet up on your bitch couch. I put my feet all in that work, nigga, whip drought. I put my feet all in that work, nigga, whip drought. My feet on the land, feet up on your bitch couch. I put my feet all in that work, nigga, whip drought. I put my feet all in that work, nigga, whip drought.
You know they saying on this, you the one. You the top, nigga. You that, what you say, top carrier?
Shit. Nah. I'm fried. Got me fried.
You the one. You the top, nigga. You that, what you say, top carrier?
Word. Rest in peace, Osama, man. What up, y'all? It's the Knox, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in to this. You know what I mean? I'm going to give y'all a breakdown of this session. You know, the kind of work that I did on here. As you can see, you know, I played the video before, but I'm going to give y'all a breakdown of, you know, added effects and things I did with the vocals and, you know, just part of the process, a little breakdown. If you guys got any questions, you know, ask. When I was doing this, you know, I started off from learning off experience. So I'm trying to, you know, give you guys like a hands-on kind of experience and breakdown of, you know, doing this. At least if you're on a certain level, you know. When I started, I didn't know like anything. So I asked like serious questions about, you know, recording and, you know, the process of doing certain things. But, you know, I record, mix, and engineer. So I recorded this. Of course, I mixed it. And I mastered it. And I mastered it. So I'm going to go through, you know, the 3 different processes. It took me, you know, a long time to learn how to, you know, master. And the only reason why it took me so long is because I would get it confused, the difference between like mixing and mastering, and I would try to like, I guess, complete both of them at the same time, to where it really kind of doesn't work like that. You really can't get a good like master or a sound or anything you're trying to achieve if you don't have a good mix. So you have to understand the difference between the two. Definitely if you're trying to become like a triple threat engineer, to where you mix, you record, and you master, usually, you know, it's 3 separate engineers. But if you want to become a triple threat to where you can do all 3, then yeah. But I also tend to like to have other engineers listen to my master to maybe critique certain things that I may not hear, or, you know, they give me a general idea to see if they agree with the frequencies I'm going with and everything like that. But if you want to become a triple threat, then, you know, you're in the right spot. So let's get started. I'm going to play the session, you know, regular with everything. And then I'm going to, you know, take certain things out and then show you the steps in the process, as you can see on the screen. So let's get to it. Let's play it.
Bro, we not going to no gas station. Don't stop at no gas stations.
You see, I put every.
Stop sitting out.
That's the. Oh, sorry. Oh, my hardware. Hold on. Give me a second. Might get a little error here. One real quick, but then we'll stop it. Let's go to this track we don't need. We can make this inactive. All right. Let's try it again.
Bro, we not going to no gas station. Don't stop at no gas stations.
Here,
stop sitting at lights. Run them lights. Don't get nothing to eat in the city. Go on the outskirts. If you're on this side of the city, go to Jersey. If you're on this side, go to Albany or something. Look at gas and food. Don't gotta be in the city, bro. Do not stop at no gas stations.
So
don't be leaving motherfuckers at nighttime.
You know,
I said don't be sitting in no wheels for a long time. What'd he do? He didn't have to go outside and do that, bro. He gotta hop in the wheel.
And yeah, I got it.
And went home to his family, bro.
On the hook,
he could have avoided that situation. A lot of these situations people could avoid, but it be pride. And motherfucking pride be getting them killed, bro.
But we'll go through it, you know, show you the breakdown. It's the tag there.
In the shade-time calling me, but I keep declining. Record labels on my line, I told life keep responding. You really got this shit, bloody. You really got this shit, bloody. No bullshit. Oh, they throwing dirt up on the diamond. Quilly keep on shining. Stuff 42 shots up in this ladder. You gon' keep on climbing. Shooting like it's your ski. Perfect timing. Drillers with me every day. I touch them and they pass the assignment. You flexing with your line money. That work on consignment. I'm posted with a rocket launcher. Rondo number 9. My feet on the land. Feet up on your bitch couch. I put my feet all in that work, nigga. Whip drought. Fair law. I put my feet all in that work. Too up top cause I think niggas coming, but that's all in my head. Niggas came, but then they left with God, cause now them niggas. Bloody told me focus on your money, Quilly get your bread. I asked the law, remove my enemies, my friends disappeared. I got 6 figures on the line and 50,000 on the floor. I'm about to pull up and I got 20,000 at my door. Bitch, I do this day and night, Quilly really, I'll be sure. At Poppy House eating the plate, nigga, I really got it pure. Pray 5 times a day, I'm holy, bitch, my body pure. You play any time of daily, you holy, now your body sore. What you think my youngins in the field play soccer for? I done put so many points up, I ain't gotta score. Stanley trophy on my wrist from all them hockey scores. I remember standing in the rain in front of poppy stores. My feet on the land, feet up on your bitch couch. I put my feet all in that work, nigga, with drought. I put my feet all in that work, nigga, with drought. My feet on the land, feet up on your bitch couch. I put my feet all in that work, nigga, with drought.
I put my feet all in that work, nigga, with drought. You who they say no one is, you the one. You the top nigga. You that, who you say, top carrier.
Shit. Nah.
All right, so let's get to it, right? That looked cool, right? So I'm gonna show you everything. All right, try to keep up though. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go with it pretty quick. So first, what I have to do is I gotta take all this off because this is of course the master track, and that brings everything to a way that everything squeezes in, and I'm gonna show you. So I'm gonna take this off. It's the first thing we do. So we're going to just make all of these inactive. We don't want to bypass them. We want to make them inactive because sometimes bypass is still, because that's just the master. This is now the mix. Some guys take it separate and go, but it just depends on, I guess, what your computer can handle. To me, once I'm done mixing it, I guess, then I, go ahead and start the mastering process. But I usually take a break. I don't do it all in one sitting, because frequencies and stuff like that, you don't want to call ear fatigue. 101, anybody knows, you know what I mean? If you've been doing music or mixing or whatever, you don't want to be working on something too long because you'll get ear fatigue. And so this session was a couple processes. Everything is all done in, one session, file, but it was a couple processes to go in and out and, figure things out, as far as engineering wise. Because, once the artist is done, then it's just not done, as an engineer, you got to go through and do whatever, you know what I mean? So, but at first we didn't, at first the intro wasn't there. That was something that, shout out to Loud Music Life. He came up with it. He wanted the, intro in there to, have Osama's vocals on the track. So that was what's up. You know what I mean? So I have to turn everything up because, like I said, when you master it, you bring everything to a certain dB, you EQ it, and you compress it. That's really what mastering is. You know what I mean? Final EQ, compressing everything, gluing it, and bringing everything to a certain dB or lufs or whatever you're trying to put it up on, so it can match the frequencies when it gets outputted. So, with that being said, I'm gonna turn the volume up here. You see everything is low. Kind of keep it low coming in on the master before you do the mix, and we just go to a general idea. You see, where before I put anything on mastering on here, the dBs that I generally have everything at.
Went home to his family, bro. You could have avoided that situation.
And that's very important. You know what I mean? If you trying to master, you need headroom on stuff. So 101, anybody knows, you need headroom on trying to fit things in audio wise and space wise. So, but so yeah, we're turning everything up so it's not super low to where you guys really can't hear it, because I don't know how loud it's going to be out there. Let me look at the dBs.
Went home to his family,
I mean,
bro.
I guess that's not too
You could have
bad.
avoided that situation.
That's not too bad, but it's a little louder when you hear the master. But we'll keep it right there, and then we'll see what you guys think later. So, all right. So breakdown, right? So of course, when this originally came in, we'll just bypass everything right here. We had to fix a little bit of this right here. We'll take this off. And also we can just mute the production real quick. Mute the beat and we'll see how this sounded when it came in. Anything sounded.
Home to his family, bro.
You have to get rid of noise, certain things like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, we are going to turn this up a little bit because it's still going to be a little low. Let's turn this up here. That's a little too loud. We'll bring it up to there. That's cool. Remember, it was at 9.9, so we remember that. All right. So then we'll take that off. We'll hear what this sounds like.
Bro, we not going to no gas station. Don't stop at no gas.
Yeah, I'll put the reverb on there too. We take everything off. That was on there. That was on there. You can just hear it coming in
Bro, we
dry.
not going to no gas station. Don't stop at no gas stations. Stop sitting at lights,
So you
run
can
them
hear,
lights.
you
Don't
know,
get nothing to sit,
it's a
eat
little
in the
bit
city.
compression
Go to
on
on
it
the
because it's
outskirts. If you're
coming
on
through
this
the
side of the
main
city,
out
go to
compressor
Jersey. If you're on this side, go to Ardmore or
where
something.
the
Go get
vocals are
gas
at,
and food. You don't gotta be in the city, bro. Do not stop at no
which is right
gas
here.
stations. Don't be meeting motherfuckers at nighttime.
There you
Like I
go.
said, don't be sitting in no wheels for a long time. What he do? He didn't have to go outside and do that, bro. He could have
So
hopped
you
in the
know,
wheel and went home to his
when you're
family,
dealing with
bro.
things that are like
He
raw
would have
coming in,
avoided
and
that
then you need
situation. A
them to
lot of
sound a
these
certain
situations
way,
you
and you
can
want them to sound
avoid.
a certain way. You know, that was, you know, that's straight raw. But then, you know, of course, if you know, engineering 101, you should understand chain and stuff like that, you know, and you guys really should be taking notes too. It's just like a note session, you know. You can say what's up in the chat, but I'm trying to go through this and, you know, really teach you guys something, you know what I mean? So, you know, from
Bro,
there
we not going to
to
no
there,
gas station.
you know, from there to there, and then I'll undo this. You know, from there to there to
Bro, we not
there.
going to no gas station. Don't stop and
But, you know, the first thing on the chain I got is like a noise suppressor because I wanted to get rid of a lot of that noise, that, you know, hissing, you know, that you get from conversations and, you know, stuff like that. So I wanted to get rid of some of that. So,
bro, we not going to
you
no
know,
gas station. Don't stop at no gas stations.
and, you know, some of this stuff is just on your ear. How much noise do you want to get rid of, and where do you want to get rid of it at, and where, you know, how that works is, the NS works is what dB, what you want to get rid of it at. And then, you know, I put, you know, the vocal compressor on here.
Bro, we not going to no gas station. Don't stop at no
You know what I
gas
mean?
stations.
They give it some
Stop sitting at lights, run them lights.
warmth
Don't get
to
nothing to
it. You
eat
know what
in
I
the
mean?
city. Go on the outskirts. If you're on
Give it
this
a
side of the
nice
city,
tube
go
from
to
the mic
Jersey. If you're on this
emulator
side,
on
go to
here.
Ardmore
You
or
know what I
something. Go
mean?
get gas and food. You don't gotta be in the city, bro. Do not stop at no.
And then, you know, that's the, you know, gain compressor. Give it some, you know, that adds a lot of warmth to it and gives it that flavor. I don't know, to vocals, it just does. When you add the right compressors to it, then that classic compressor CLA there is just, it's just magic with vocals. I mean, it really is. The CLA 2, and I usually have that second on my chain on, you know, with my vocal chain, because I use VMR system, which is, shout out to uh uh Digital Slate and Slate Digital and UAD guys, because I use a lot of their stuff, you know what I mean? These are both Raven touchscreens, and you know, I use the Mimic mic, which is awesome, man. You know, I have no complaints about it. But yeah, this compressor, it just works great, man. It really does. And anybody who use it knows. And I, of course, Waves. I use Waves, so I use the Waves one. You know, the VMR one is really nice too. You know what I mean? And so is the UAD. I think the UAD is really great. You know what I mean? And but I think the VMR one adds a lot of like warmth to it. So watch it when you use it. I mean, to me personally. So, you know, just back down off of it a bit in certain ranges when you're trying to use it. Let's see. So then I have that, and then I have this right here. This is like one of the best EQs I've came across. Literally, it's awesome. Like it's great for adding that crispness that you want to audio. You know what I mean? And also it is great in the mid range of vocals. Like I think it's really good in those two areas. You know what I mean? Because that air effect that it has on there is really great, and which is right here, you know, at the end. And then I don't know. To me, I think they're frequency based. Like it takes out just enough, but not too much. Like when you're dealing with like Fab Filter and a lot of them other ones, don't get me wrong. Like I use Fab Filter for certain EQs on vocals as well when I'm trying to do a certain sound. But I think that as far as their engine goes, it takes out a lot dynamically, and you can really, really, like, it's great when you're really trying to change something like drastically. But when you're trying to just do it subtle, I think that the Air EQ, the Oasis, is like, I think, one of the best to me personally. And I use it on my vocal chain, you know. And I think this is another one where I was just adding a little bit more air. I didn't want to put as much, just a trick. I didn't want to put as much stress on this one by turning it all the way up, gaining it. So I just added another one on there and boosted it just a little bit more. Like, I don't know. It does something different. Instead of adding all the boost on one, I guess, opening up another one, it's like chaining it. And if you're adding it from, if you were running it analog, I guess, on a mix chain, it's kind of like the same thing. It's not putting as much pressure on it and distorting it as much if you would do it all on one. So, and that's the final sound of it,
No gas station. Don't stop at no gas stations. Stop sitting at lights. Run them lights.
To get rid of, like I said, you guys can remember, just to get rid of a lot of that extra sound.
Go to Jersey. Go on this side. Go to Auburn or something.
So we'll bring the production back in, and then we'll move on. Right. Of course, I mean, if you guys don't know anything about
pride, getting them killed, bro.
All right, that's like automation right here. What I did is basically unmuted the tracks I have sent to 2122, which I think is a delay, and then I just unmuted the delay that I have it set to. And these are all my through tracks. I have my vocals, where all my vocals come in at, and compress all the vocals to glue the vocals together. My reverb track, my quarter delays, eighth delays, half delays, and then my chorus track, you know what I mean? Now, depending on how many people I have on a track, I usually may dub this and then output different people's vocals to different tracks and compress their vocals differently on one vocal track, so they each have separate vocal tracks compressed, and then through all them to another one to route them together, so they stick together in the production as well, and everything like frequency wise, tone wise, and I guess volume and dB and sound wise, they'll be the same. You know what I mean? Like, if you try to do it too much and you have too many tracks on, because this is like a bus compress, so I'm bussing multiple vocal tracks in there. If you have that, then you're gonna, if you got too many vocals, you're gonna end up peaking, and then everything's gonna sound the same. Once you hit to a certain peak, all your shit is gonna be the same. So you have to separate it if it's too much. If it's too much, you gotta spread it out. It's only but so much space that you can work with, so you gotta spread that shit out. So yeah, normally if I'm dealing with more than one artist, then I'll have more than one vocal bus track. You know what I mean? And depending on what kind of reverb that I want to achieve, if I'm, just having the same kind of reverb, and then I can automate the time throughout the song, then I'll have one reverb track, or say if I wanted a plate reverb, then I wanted a hall reverb, then I can either do that through automation, or what I would usually do is just make another reverb track. One to be plate, one to be hall. It's just easier, and just route it through. I mean, as long as your computer and your software and whatever can handle it, depending on what level you're at, like I'm saying. So I got a lot of expensive equipment here, so everybody won't be able to have as many plugins or do as many things. So you might have to bounce audio and reroute audio to, once you add a certain amount of plugins on, like right here, then you'll probably have to maybe create another audio track, then bounce that sound file to a track so you can have it that way, then to free up other tracks for plugins. But I don't know. We're going to go through like if you had it, So yeah.
To be pride. And motherfucking pride getting them killed, bro.
Did a little added effects here to the beat. You know, this is like a, you know, frequency
Stop
morph
sitting
that
at lights,
I
run them
use here.
lights. Don't get nothing to
Of
sit.
course, I
Eat in
use
the
one
city,
knob
go on
filter.
the
It's just a
outskirts.
one
If you're on
knob
this side
filter
of the
here.
city, go to
You
Jersey. If
know,
you're on this side,
basically
go to
it.
Ardmore or something. Look at
Just a
gas
filter
and
on the
food.
production.
Don't gotta be in the city, bro. Do not stop at no
Just a filter on the production throughout here. These are automation knobs that come in when I want it to come in, and I just made it drag in at a certain spot because I wanted it to come in at a certain spot. That's really it. Yeah, so got the tag here. It's just a little bit of automation on there. All right. You see how these vocals right here? I have them panned, so that's the reason why it sounds so like you can hear everything. Because you have to remember that when you're dealing with like sound, everything is dealing with like space. So you got to work with the space that you got, right? So you can't have everything centered. You can't have everything like left to right. You got to have certain shit at certain dynamic ranges so you can hear everything that you're trying to do, right? So with these right here, which is like, this is his ad libs right here, and this is like back up him praying. You know, you can hear him praying here. I'll mute this. We'll mute that. We're going through master sessions, you know what I mean? So, ready for this shit. Hear that? So, you hear all that? And then this is him praying in the background. So you can hear one coming left, one coming right. And then where I have the praying also being spread at a certain time now. You see how it's spreading at a certain point, and it's going from one to one to where you can hear it, right? And then you add on this right here, and then that's also being spread and panned at a certain point. You see what I'm saying? If you can listen to it in your different headphones, you can see how it's being like spread and it's being at different points. You know what I mean? Like that's just to make sure you can hear everything. Like, and at the same time, when you bounce like the audio, if you've been doing this for years or whatever, when you play this song on your phone and you can still hear all that in like mono. And, you know, that's what you're trying to like achieve when you do certain things. When you're panning audio and squeezing space, you know what I mean? You want everything to come out also when you play it on every device, and that comes with the, you know, frequencies of it and master and stuff. But so you see, like I said, you have to squeeze stuff in. All this stuff is the same dB. You know what I mean? I have it a certain dB, so it rides under his vocals and his vocal dB. Now, you know, I don't mess with the vocal dB. Usually, I ride off of everything under that. So usually my vocals dB are 0, and you see how I have them coming in. You know, I never look at. I mean, this is ideal. How high the audio is coming in is like ideal. You know what I mean? I'll bypass this so you can hear how it is. But that's like ideal. You understand what I'm saying? Like I'll unmute the beat. I have to unmute the beat again. But that's ideal how you want them to come in. Like you don't want your vocals to be peaking when they're coming in. Unless you have like, you know, like I have a little bit of compression and like gain when it does come in, but not much, just to give it that analog warmth before it actually even comes into hits my computer. But I don't have a lot on there. Like, you know, if you have a lot of analog equipment and you don't use much digital, then your dB and gain will probably be a little bit more. You understand what I'm saying? Because you're using more outband equipment and analog equipment and like recording it straight in there like that than you are. Now, what I suggest, even if you do have that, I mean, in like your old school, because you're used to just working with analog, I mean, I suggest you still like route it. So have the vocals coming in clean on a digital face, and then you can like route it through like I have here. Like these are my compressors and analog compressors and shit like that I have. So like I can route the vocals through the compressor, you know, through a chain, and then have them still come back in here analog without them being touched. So I still have like dry vocals in case I want to go back and like change something or something didn't come in right, or I mean, you never know. I just try to keep it like as raw as possible, but you don't want them coming in too much. Definitely dealing with digital. You don't recording on digital equipment is different than recording on analog equipment. You know what I mean? Like I said, I learned on analog, so it's way different. When it comes in digital and that shit is like redlining, then it's going to sound like shit, and it's going to sound like that forever. And there's nothing you could do about it. So it's best to find a comfortable dB. Don't have nothing coming in over 10. Over minus 10, I would say. Like, have that shit below that. Your vocals coming in below that, because then you can always, you know, add stuff on to make it, you know, stand out. You dig? All right, so we'll add this back on. But you can see how it comes in sounding raw. And I think I had this on, and I think this one was on, right? That's the other one, yeah. So that was raw, you know what I mean?
The streets and the shaitan calling me, but I keep
And
declining.
like I said, everybody's compression would be different, you know. This is his compression when he came in that day, and you can see my meters.
The
And
streets and the
there's certain things that I
shaitan calling
use,
me,
you know
but
what
I
I
keep
mean?
declining. Record labels on my line. I told life keep
I
responding.
let it peak a bit, a little bit, but it wasn't much. It really didn't. You see how low they were coming in, so I'm not going to have no
They throwing
distortion.
dirt up on the diamond, Quilly keep on shining. Stuff 42 shots up in his ladder, you gon' keep on climbing. Shooting like
And
it's
you're
just
just going to see, you know,
perfect timing.
what's
Drillers
on
with
this
me
track
every
that's
day, I
playing.
touch them
You
and they
know?
pass the Simon. You flexing with your line money, that
So you're just going to see that, but that's, you know, right here is, you know, I made a track and then put reverse reverb on it, you know what I mean? Which is,
the streets and the
guys don't know how to do that. Oh, you know, you can look up plenty of videos on YouTube on how to, you know, create reverse reverb, but basically what you do is, this is why this is clipped here. I just clipped, you know, this one word that he said here, copied it,
streets.
copied that, the streets, copied it, and put it on another track, reversed it, then, you know, went up the audio suite, hit the reverse, went up the audio suite, then reverb. I'll put a long reverb on. I'm not gonna open it up now, but I'll, you know, put a long reverb on, reverb it, and then reverse it back, and then you get this. You get that reverse reverb. You know what I mean? And then what I like to do, like I said, is I like to bring a dynamic to it. As you can see, what I put to it, if you listening to it, you can hear it goes from right to left or left to right or whatever, because it makes sure that you can hear it when everything comes together. You know what I mean? Just puts a little extra flavor and dynamic on it. Certain things I like to do, you know. So, you know, we put another one there.
They throwing dirt up on the diamond, Quilly keep on shining. Stuff 42 shots up in his ladder, you gon' keep on climbing. Shooting like it's just ski.
Yeah, you know.
Two shots up in his ladder, you gon' keep on climbing. Shooting like it's just ski.
See, trying to squeeze, fit everything in there.
I touch them and they pass the
It's
Simon.
like
You flexing
very,
with your line
very
money.
key. And like I said, like I drastically changed his vocals here on the dubs. So like I said, when I want to drastically change vocals, if I want to drastically change vocals, I do use Pro Q too, because
The streets and the shaitan calling me, but I keep declining.
You know, without that, you know, the vocals would sound a little different, you know. So let's go without that. So you know what I mean, like, and then with that, I mean, it just their change in their EQ is just amazing. Like, if you want drastic changes in vocals or drastic changes in anything that you're trying to EQ, it does it like great. But you see, again, in these, you know, like I said, it's easy breakdown, man. You know, But trying to,
Diamond Quilly,
these
keep
the
on
most
shining.
important things are when your vocals come in, the levels that your vocals are supposed to be coming in. Those are the most important things. You know what I mean? I'll give you guys a quick thing on reverse reverb, so how I accomplish that right there. So we'll just duplicate this track for shits and giggles, right? I don't need anything on there, not the alternate playlist, but we will keep the automation. So basically, what I did was I cut, selected that. And for shortcuts on Pro Tools is B, separate something. So if you're using your keyboard or whatever, you can highlight something like this. You can highlight that and just hit B, and it'll just cut it. You know what I mean? But I want to undo, so of course Control Z is undo, right? So basically what you do is, let me save this in case we get any errors. Alternate on anything on Pro Tools, like alternate if you want to hold something, like say if you got something highlighted, right? And you want to copy that, what you highlight, you hold alternate. So say I want to copy this, I hold alternate, click the device that you want to copy, and then it's going to drag and copy it over, right? That's what alternate does. Control will drag it to where you place it at. It will take that object and drag it to where you place it at. But I want to copy this, so what I'm going to do is alternate up, right? And I think for this reverb, I used Manny M, but we're going to go through the process first. So how I created this reverse audio reverb here. I went to other, in Pro Tools it's in other for some reason. I don't know why. It's not in effects, it's in other. So you go to other and then you go down to reverse. Boom. And the reverse menu will come up. You see I got dual screen, so the reverse menu will come up now. Whatever's highlighted is what it's going to reverse there. For those who don't know, this button right here on Pro Tools, if you click this button and when you have a plugin open, if you click that button and you don't want that plugin to close, right? You click that button there. So when you open up another plugin, for example, right? I'm gonna open up the reverb, and I think I used the Manny M on this one. I think I did use the Manny M, yeah. So we'll go to mono, yeah. So normally, when you open up two plugins, it would just close the other one. But since I had that one unhighlighted, that it kept it on. It's going to keep the plugin open. It's great for like the audio suite when you're trying to keep something on there and change the audio like all the time direct. It's really good for that. Really, really good for that, because you could just have it on there. You don't have to always open it up. The plugin stays open, but like I said, it does consume like temporary RAM or memory. So just remember that depending on how much you're working with, how much you're going to get. So, okay, so basically, I know I set that to large. So what we're going to do is we got that highlighted, and then we're just going to hit render, right? Now what that did is it reversed it, basically. It just reversed. It just reversed the O. So I'll bring it back here. See, whoop, it just reversed it. So we'll delete that. It just reversed it, right? So basically, right? It just reversed it. So what we want to do is, I'm sorry, I lost contact. Select as much as you want, to reverse the end and where you want it to start, So I would select there. And then, of course, you know how to render things on Pro Tools. If not, this is what you do with the audio. You can, take a listen to what you're doing first, how it's going to sound, or whatever. Now, they do have, like, a reverse thing here, so you can, like, reverb it and reverse it automatically, but I don't really like how that works. It doesn't really give you, I don't think, the sound that you want either. So, basically, then you just hit render, right? So, now that you have that, then you would go back to your reverser and then render that. Now, depending on how loud the dB or how loud it comes out, you might want to adjust your dB or your output there, but basically, like I said, I can't remember exactly what I did, but this is what you would get,
Really got this shit, Quilly, no bullshit. Oh, they.
So, I think it was kind of that one. I might have turned it up a little bit. It might have been exactly that. Huh? Yeah, pretty sharp. I think it was like exactly that, but damn near. I might have moved this back and forth for a little bit more, triggered it, to make it be right on point, so when it comes in, I think I did that just a tad bit, like right here. Yeah, so.
Really got this shit, Quilly, no bullshit.
So you see how it comes in and makes like the ooh come in, you know what I mean? So that's basically the process of reverse reverb to those who don't know how to do it. Now you know how to do it. There you go. You learn something new every day. But I'll delete that. I'll delete this whole track because there's no need for it. But yeah, so basically, yeah, man.
Shooting like
compressing
it's just
vocals to a certain point, you know what I mean, a certain way, and then once you get all that stuff kind of done in your session, I did minute audio editing, took some breaths out, and added stuff in the background that was just like noise, in the vocals.
Bloody told me focus on your money, Quilly get your bread. I asked the law, remove my enemies, my friends disappeared.
So,
I got 6 figures on
just
the
a little
line and
added
50,000
effect, like I
on
said,
the
this
floor.
is,
I'm about to pull up and I got 20,000 at my door. Bitch, I
just,
do this day and night, Quilly,
just
really,
see
I'll
the
be sure. At
effect,
Poppy House,
a knob
eating the
moving
plate,
this
nigga,
chord
I
to the
really got
filter
it
of
pure.
how I have it.
Pray 5 times a day, I'm holy.
I also used a tape stop filter in here that Kilo Heart makes, which is pretty good. I also use Kilo Heart's reverb. Tape stop is just exactly what it is. Stops the record. You know what I mean? There's a good added effect on production and stuff like that. Definitely finishing the track and going with the person's vocals is really good. Really good added effect, and it's simple. Definitely for a track like this, it's very simple. So, a lot of times I mix and the vocals will be a lot louder than the production. You know what I mean? I'll have it like that just so I can hear. You know what I mean? I can hear details.
I got 6 figures on the line and 50,000 on the.
I really don't like mix or do anything in mute. Like I don't, because like again, when you talk to any engineer or whoever that's been doing this shit for a long time, like you don't mix like this. You don't do that. You don't, because nobody's gonna listen.
I got
to the
6
music
figures
like
on
this,
the
you know
line
what I
and
mean?
50,000.
You gotta stop. Like if you do that and you mix or whatever, you gotta stop doing that shit because you're taking out some of the soul of the music when you do that. You know what I mean? Sometimes a little bit of noise or a little bit of imperfection is, really is what's gonna make the track stand out. For instance, right? Like I do things like this all the time when I record, right? Like we go to the end of the track, right? You see, of course y'all remember it on the end of the track,
I'm fried.
You think that was like planned? You think that was planned for him to say that? Like no, he just said it, and me as the producer and engineer of this song, I just kept it and was like, yeah, we're just gonna keep that at the end because it's like it's the mood that we was in. We put the feeling on the track. You know what I'm saying? We was fried, you know what I mean, and think about Osama, and that's where this whole joint came up, you know what I'm saying? So like,
I'm fried.
I kept it because we keep that, you know what I mean? And then a lot of times when you record, you'll get that. Now, if I was looking for it to be perfect and be like, oh, that's not part of the song, then like no, like a lot of times imperfections you keep them, you know what I mean? Because you don't know what it is. Like, how do you think they came up with skits like back in the day on old records and shit like that people enjoyed, that was funny? I mean, that's what it was. Guys fucking around or something happened and the engineer or whoever decided to keep it, and it became, a masterpiece skit or whatever, a part of the song that everybody really remembers. So, but yeah, don't mix in, mute shit like that. I mean, it's all right to mute like the vocals and shit because, when I usually start a mix, I'll start it, you know what I mean? And
Bro, we not going to no game.
I won't have anything but the mains playing because, You know, I do clean up the mains, but I'm not muting the beat while I'm cleaning my mains.
Streets in the
You
shade
understand
time
what I'm
calling
saying?
me, but I keep
won't have,
declining.
you know,
Record
I'll
labels
have
on
just
my
my
line, so
mains
life
playing.
keep responding.
You understand what I'm saying? I'll just have my mains playing. That was part of the, you know, dubs when he said
They
that.
throwing dirt up on the diamond, Quilly keep on shining. Stuff 42 shots up in his ladder, you
But
gon'
I'll just
keep
have
on
my
climbing.
mains playing
Shooting like it's your
while I'm
ski,
doing a certain
perfect
part of the
timing.
mix.
Drillers with me every day, I touch them and they
So I
pass the
can
sign.
mix that
You
shit
flexing
right.
with your line money,
Get the
that work
main
on
vocals right,
consignment.
because
I'm
everything
posted
else has to sit like underneath it. So I'll get the main vocals right, so everything can sit underneath the vocals like how they're supposed to. You know what I mean?
Longerondo number 9, my feet on the
And
land.
it depends on the feeling and the artist. Like I'll take some breaths out, some breaths I'll leave in, but sometimes it's good to leave some of that stuff in, because, you know, if you take that out, you take some of the feeling away from, you know, the artist's expression. So it's just a judgment thing, and it's really up to the artist, you know. But it's a judgment call on how clean your audio should be, and different type of music that you're dealing with. You know what I mean? Because, you know, like pop music is way more cleaner and crisp than, you know, certain type of hip hop. So, you know, you want that in certain music. You want that to be, you know, rugged, or you want it to be clean, depending on what you're dealing with. So, but, you know, all my vocals in hip hop, I try to make it sound clean and crisp.
Stuff
You know
42
what I'm
shots
saying?
up in his ladder, you gon' keep on climbing. Shooting like it's your ski, perfect timing. Drillers with me every day, I touch them and they pass the assignment. You
But, you know, that's usually my first part of the mix. Is then I will mute the mains, right? I will do that, right? I'll mute the mains, and, you know, I don't think he had any dubs on here. He didn't do dubs. He just did ad libs. So then I would, like, you know, mute everything but my ad libs, just because I want to make sure like the ad libs sound compressed right. You know what I mean? I will do that, because I'm not saying like, oh, some guys say he said don't solo. Like, no, I will do certain things like that, but I will never, the production will never be out of it. You know what I mean? I will do certain things like that. You know what I mean? Because I want to see dynamically how it sounds. Like I said, I did certain things here. Like I said, I'll mute it, and then you can see, or you heard before I explained it. But, you know, certain things go left to right, because, you know, I use it like an auto pen. You know what I mean? So certain times it goes left, certain times it goes right, and I will, you know, mute it just to hear where it's fitting at in the space at certain times, and make sure that it's hitting at the right time every time. You know what I mean? But it usually does. So yeah, and get used to panning, like I said, because you got to squeeze vocals in. So certain things I auto pan and set it to a certain way to where it hits on a certain groove, or you can, you know, physically go in and pan the track if you would like. You know, everything in Pro Tools is done in mono. So if you wanna, you know, not everything, but most of your vocals when you have them recording, they're coming in mono. So if you wanted to like pan something, then you would just go to the automation pan, and then you could just automate the pan, and the middle bar is the left, you know, is the center, and be left and right. Like I said, I pan this whole track to a certain point, so that's why it's showing the line on the bottom. But you could automate it, you know. You could automate the pan, and that's what, if you don't know, that's what this is right here, and this is how you would, instead of, you know, you could go right here too, instead of going right here and changing your whole track to the pan. You know what I mean? You just leave this track on waveform, and then all your sub panels, you click down here. Then you can add all your automations down there, and you can add as many as you want, or as many as you have, you know, on here. You can add, you know, you can automate, you know, the reverb volume at a certain point, or whatever you have your reverb set on, and, you know, the automation will come up here if you wanted to automate the time, or you set it or whatever. But that's how you know, do automation on a track in Pro Tools. You know what I mean? And leave your waveform here, you know, so you're not really scrolling back and forth through this menu. And then when you don't need to see them anymore, because we're not automating nothing, you don't need to see them. We just I said, exit out of them. If you don't visually want to look at them, you know what I mean? Some of the, like I said, some of these automation tracks I left up here because I was doing the session and I wanted to see where everything was at and make sure that it's in proper placement and a good placement, But generally, this is what I did. Now, a lot of people don't really hear it and you don't really notice it in the track, but there is a slight bit of auto-tune on here. There's a slight bit of auto-tune on certain parts of the song here. It's right here on these tracks here.
It's coming, but that's all in my head. Niggas came, but then they left with God, cause now them niggas.
When you
Bloody told me focus on your money.
Somebody, what it's like,
remove my enemies, my friends disappeared.
the key is
I got 6 figures on the line and 50,000 on the floor. I'm about to pull up and I got 20,000 at my door. Bitch, I do this day and night. Quilly really, I'll be sure.
It's like real subtle in it. Nigga, I really got it pure. Really subtle, Even though the retune speed is on 7, it's really subtle in that part, and a lot of people really don't notice it. But there's ways where you can use it raw hip hop, and it sounds pretty raw. It sounds pretty good, But yeah, man. And there was, like up here is, the vocal part of the vocals where he was doing things and didn't keep it, Let's see. Let's go right here. I'll let you hear a little piece. I'm gonna mute everything. I don't know what he was saying here, but this is like stuff you probably never hear. You will never hear this anywhere else, I'll tell you that much. Let me mute this. I have to mute all this because he was spitting it at this certain part of the music. And I don't know what he was saying. But this is a take right here. We didn't keep. I don't know what he was talking about. Let's go. Let's see. Let's go.
The streets in the shade time calling, but I keep declining. Record labels on.
See, he was just going through the rap.
They throwing dirt up on the diamond.
He was just going through the rap.
Shots up in this ladder, you gon' keep.
Yeah.
Streets in the shade time calling, but I keep declining.
See, that's just like him going through the rap, Him trying to figure out what he was going to say, where he was going to say it. That's this part. Hold on, let me move this back.
Think I'm bluffing, think I'm in the air. So I type of bluffing, think I'm up, and
see,
they gon' hit your head.
See, a lot of that, like that's a, artist just going in there trying to figure out what he wants to do. But you always keep these takes because you never know, what you're going to run into, You never know. But yeah, those were just different artist takes, different takes of the track, Once I get everything done, as you can see, like everything meshes like together, right? Everything sort of meshes together. That's where we're at the point now in the mix, right? We're at that point now in the mix where everything sort of meshes together. You have everything set right. I think I have everything set right. This is what I was working with, give it a little bit volume wise, but this is what I was working with. We'll connect those back together. Once I was done,
Bro, we not going to no gas station. Don't
done
stop
with the
at no
session.
gas
This is
station.
basically what we
Stop
were
sitting at
listening
lights,
to.
Run them lights. Don't
trying
to eat in the city. Go on the outskirts.
Figure out how we would start it because it just basically like started. It just came in.
And went
I'll
home
pull
to
the
his
session
family,
up,
bro.
the other session.
We could have
where it
avoided
just
that
came in.
situation.
But everything was done here, so the song just came in like this. It just came in like this. And then like I said, shout out to Life. He sent the skit. I edited the skit and put it in the beginning. But this was the mix that we was dealing with once we were done. That's why I say the key to getting a good master is getting a good mix. You know what I mean? So you gotta get a pretty good mix. And once you get a pretty good mix, then you can get a master. Like I said, all these lines and things that you can understand. I told you what I did here. I went and did different different delays, stuff like that to his voice. And like I said, I can't really, everything is according to sound and the sound system that you have and the sound that you're dealing with. So everything is really naturally according to sound and how it sounds to you. Now, I'll let you hear the difference between what it sounded like before I put stuff on and after, But it's really up to you to learn how to use what you're using. I gave you a basic demo of the things that I use. These are the different compressors that I use. This is the the FG. Like I said, the vocal. This is great for. It's awesome. It's really awesome But it's really awesome for vocals. The BMR is like the best that I feel for vocals. Definitely when you get to the emulator, their mic emulator, if you have their hardware to match the mic emulator, you got so many different, choices of mics to choose from. And like I said, it all depends on the artist and what you're listening to at a certain time, you know what I'm saying, and recording it, and the artist's vocals, how your compression is going to be, and your attack, and things like that. So that's up to you. But most of the time, vocal compression is 2 to 3 to 1 ratio, or 2.5 to 1 ratio. Most of the time, but depending on what you're dealing with, like I said, and depending on what you're trying to achieve. So everything's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same. I just give you a diagram and show you the things that I use, and then we'll go from there. So as you can see, I turned the track down while we were playing, because then I would go to that point. This is that point now. I would get into mastering the track, because I think the mix sounds pretty good, right? So I would turn everything down to a certain gain in dB, and then I would find that sweet point, which I think it was like 9 right, for the production and for everything. Yeah, 9.8 is close enough. 1 minus 1 more might make a difference, but all right. So I would then turn the beat down to a certain dB, then I would turn the vocals down to a certain dB to kind of slide into the beat and match the beat. A great way to do that, right? We're gonna take that off, right? But a great way to do that, we're at what? 14.5. So a great way to do that when you're doing that is like basically what you can do is you can start from a point in the song, right? And when you're trying to figure out where you want the vocals to be at in the beat, start from 0, right? But you make sure you have everything grouped together. Like I have all my vocals grouped together. So you make sure you have everything that's on your vocals grouped together. And then you can just slide it up starting from 0 to your ear to where you feel like the vocals settle in to the production at a certain time. You know what I mean? So we was at 14.5. You know what I mean? But, like I said, that's up to your ear and your sound system. But, that's a great way to do it. Like, to get the vocals to slide into the beat. Once you got your vocals done, clean, compressed, you got, everything in your vocals are layered right. You know what I mean? Usually when, ad-libs tend to be, like he just did ad-libs, he didn't do dubs. Ad-libs tend to be, like I said, in between the -6. If you're going from 0, you know what I mean? Starting from 0, it's in between the -6 and -8 range. And then, of course, dubs is -10 to 13, depending on who you're dealing with, like I said, and what other kind of stuff you have added on to the dubs. You know what I mean? So there's sometimes you may need to turn them down depending on, where you're sending it to, because you want more of the send and the added sound and whatever the case may be. But in the range of what you're dealing with in vocals, if your vocals are sitting at 0, then your ad-libs your dubs would be at -10 to 12, and your ad-libs would be at -6 to 8. And that's as far as dB range. So you'll be able to hear everything clear how you're supposed to hear it on a record. Then once you you have all your vocals and everything together. Like I said, you always you bust things through a compressor, which is the bus compressor right here, and this is everything is bust together to make the vocals glue together. That's the reason why the vocals glue together. Everything in the vocals are gluing together because I have it virtual bus through this bus compressor. Like I said, again, you know, it's a VMR. So like I said, VMR is great. You know, Slate Digital. Shout out to Slate Digital. Like I said, but they're great. You know, their plugins are awesome. So yeah, that's the things I have on there. But yeah, you get that once you get to this point, and like I said, you're dealing with the mix, like, you know, stuff was redlining because I had to turn it down from the mix. But, all right, so you're at this point. We turned everything down, like I said, because now we want to give some headroom for mastering, right? So make this active, and you know, I'll show you the EQs that I add on here, and as you can see, it starts to brightened up a bit. You know, with the EQ that I put on there, you can hear the huge difference on there. You know, it gives it that pop. You hear what I'm saying? Like, and it also slides the vocals right in there, you know, EQ wise. Now, sometimes, a lot of times, people have trouble like sliding the vocals in, you know what I mean, and thinking like because it's their compression, or thinking no, because a lot of times it's just EQ and you don't have the EQ set right. Your vocals are supposed to set at a certain spot in the EQ, so you gotta have that. Like, if you don't have that, then you're never going to get the vocals to set. You know what I mean? And sometimes you may have the EQ to beat to drop out certain points in the production as far as EQ wise. You know what I'm saying? As far as EQ wise, like here, you know, to drop out certain points, or to put certain points, gains points in the production to make it stand out once you have the final EQ and everything put to the master track. This is what we're doing right now. We're mastering now. You know, we had a good mix, and we're going through a mastering process. And basically what mastering is EQ and compression and, you know, gain factor, loudness factor. And then, you know, a lot of people don't understand that. But like I said, I did this in different steps, and it wasn't much. It was just a lot of listening to it, trying to figure out where things needed to be taken out EQ wise, you know, because a lot of stuff was already done, you know, when the beat was made, as far as EQ and, you know, doing a lot of things as far as what it's supposed. So, you know, when you get to this process and you're in charge of like everything, it comes kind of easy. So this is with it. This is with, you know, without it. This is with it. But you can hear a big difference in the EQ once the EQ comes on. Now,
too uptight cause I think niggas coming, but that's all in my head. Niggas came, but then they left with God, cause now them niggas.
Usually once I'm done my EQing, you know, then on my master track, I'll add like a compressor again. It's a bus compressor. And look, shout out to Waves, Solid State Logic. Excuse me. But by far, this is like one of the best compressors that I've used for mastering. And it slides the vocals in there like glue, like crazy. And see if you guys can tell the difference.
Drillers with me every day. I test them and they pass the time. You flexing with your line, money that work.
I mean, it's just like magic, right? I mean, I don't know if you guys hear it. I mean, it's just like magic, though, ain't it? I mean, listen to that. It's just like magic, man. But yeah, Waves again, you know. G Master bus compressor. It's and that the engine is so close to the natural, you know what I mean? The engine, and that's important, you know. That's the important thing, is the sound engine that it produced. And you know, when I'm compressing, you know, try not to let it go past 4, you know what I mean? Which is pretty decent, you know what I mean? You know, this is really key in making music sound the way that it's supposed to sound. You know, some guys can do a mix, and once they're done their mix, that they don't have to put anything on their master track. They're just done, you know? I've worked with a lot of professionals that have been doing it for a while that they don't have anything on their master track. But, I mean, this is just the way that I work. I'm, you know, like I said. But, you know, Once I'm done the mix, then I start putting stuff on my master track to master, because that's what it's there for. But this is great. Like it just squeezed the vocals in there. Basically, you know, turn it on and then you adjust your threshold. Makeup is, you know, once it takes the, you know, dB away, how much is it putting back on? You know, you adjust your attack, your release. I usually have it on auto release. Your ratio. And usually, you know what I mean? And of course, I love the analog output, bro. It's just, that's the way to go. But usually, I just adjust my threshold and my ratio, my attack, you know. Threshold, ratio, and attack is really, really important, and definitely release. But a lot of times, if you're not squashing shit too much or whatever, you don't have to worry about it. You can leave the release auto. If you're squashing or whatever, then you gotta, you know, you gotta do some adjustments then. But and then after that, you know, after that, then we deal with, you know, we'll get, you know, my, you know, basically, this is what brings everything up to dB. Now, like I said, like the audio suite, it works the same. You see how the audio suite plugins are still open? Like it works the same for these plugins too. If I wanted to keep this plugin open and this plugin open and this plugin open at the same time, that's all you have to do is just hit that side red button. If you didn't know, that's what that's for. So you can have all your plugins still active and adjust certain ones at certain times, you know. Now, and basically, you know, if you know anything about this, you know, you just want certain things to be a certain dB, and you don't want it to clip too high, and you don't want it to distort, you know what I mean? So you want to make sure that you're doing all of the above, that it's not clipping or distorting or anything like that, you know what I mean? To your ear, you know, to your ear, and also pay attention visually too. Visually isn't always correct. Your ear, go with your ear all the time.
I think niggas coming, but that's all in my head. Niggas came, but then they left with God, cause now them niggas.
But that's basically what you're doing, is just you're adding loudness to it. You see how everything came up in dB? But that's, you know, it's a trick to doing everything. You know, it's processes. You see here, you start with a certain dB, then you turn it down. You start with a certain beat, you turn it down. You got to leave headroom for mastering. So even if you're just mixing, guys, and you're sending it somewhere to get mastered, remember that. You know, remember in your mix, turn everything down to like -10 dB, and then send that to your mastering engineer. You know what I mean? Make sure everything is hitting, or, you know, nothing goes higher than -10, because then that gives him enough headroom to work with the audio files, the master, and do what he needs to do as far as EQing and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And know the difference between mixing and mastering too. Don't have a shitty fucking mix and send that shit to a mastering engineer and expect him to work magic, bro. Like, mixing is most of the part. You know what I'm saying? Mixing involves sliding the vocals into the beat. That's mixing. You understand what I'm saying? That's the reason why before I started touching any of this shit right here that I'm muting, before I started touching any of this shit, I mixed it, made sure that the mix was right. I slid the vocals into the beat at a certain point, made sure the dBs matched, made sure everything was frequency right, because that's mixing. You know what I'm saying? That's mixing. You know, mastering is final EQ check. You know what I'm saying? That's what you see what I did. Final EQ check. Compressing everything together, gluing it, you know what I'm saying? So when you do put it on the DAW, or when you put it out on a DSP, I'm sorry, like, you hear everything that you're supposed to hear. That's what compression does. You understand? Like, when you compress everything together, that's what it does. You know, people say, how do you get your mixes to sound the same on here and there and there? And like, yo, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't done a car test in like years. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I haven't done a car test in years, but I don't feel like I necessarily need to. I don't, guys, you know, play my shit in their car all the time. You know what I mean? And it sounds just like in their car, like it sounded in the studio, like it sounded in, you know, a certain place. And that's why. That's called compression. You know what I mean? That's what that does. And making sure that is right. And also your frequencies are right. Your EQ and frequencies are right. You know, that matters too. But when you compress it and you put all that stuff together and you compress it like glue, whatever that mix sounds like, that's what it's going to sound like coming out of every speaker. So, you know, that's the reason why that's, you know, second to last step on my chain, you know, as far as mastering, because that's all mastering is. Like I said, EQ, compression, and bringing shit up to dB and gain. You know what I mean? When you do all this, then everything should be right. You know, if you do your mix right, your mastering shouldn't be too hard or too much of an issue. Like I said, you just don't want to do it right after a session or whatever. If you do that, because you'll have ear fatigue. You don't want to do that, right? And if you want to double check yourself, like I said, I used to use this a lot, like to double check myself, and it's a great tool to use. Let me save this real quick. But it's a great tool to use too if you feel like, you know, here it is, the Spaz Analyzer, right? Is this the one? I think this is the one. Yeah. I think this is the one. It's either this one or, let me see. Or this one. No, it's the Analyzer. Okay, it's the Analyzer, right? So basically, what this is doing is showing you what your shit sounds like on a spectrum, right?
Too up top cause I
On
think
a
niggas
spectrum.
coming, but that's all in my head. Niggas came, but then they left
It
with God,
kick,
cause
all
now
that
them
shit
niggas.
is showing your waves and everything that you're doing on the spectrum. So
Bloody told me
if you
focus
wanna
on your
check
money,
yourself
Quilly get you.
as far
I
as,
asked the Lord,
you know,
remove my enemies, my friends.
what spectrum you're on and how things are hitting and where it's at when it's coming out, and you know you can use this, you know, and
I put my feet all in that shit.
you can see
Too
more
up top
stuff.
cause I think
Stuff
niggas
is
coming, but
coming
that's
there,
all in my
coming there.
head. Niggas came, but
So
then they
this
left with
basically
God, cause now them
analyzing
niggas.
frequencies and letting you know where things are coming at left and right.
Bloody told me focus on your money, Quilly
And where
get you.
things are going to
I
be
asked
at
the
when
Lord,
you're
remove my enemies,
bouncing
my
to a
friends
doll. You know,
disappeared.
most is, you know.
I got six
so that's
figures.
it's a great tool to use to see where you're at in range as far as, you know, your gain and stuff like that. But I think we're at a pretty good range. Everything is hitting at 0. The most it would go over is +2.4. We're good. We're good. But yeah, that's a good thing that you could use. Something that you could use to see, you know, analyze your frequencies to see if you're in a good range of where you're supposed to be at when you're dealing with audio. And this last one here is a plugin just so you guys can hear, because as you know, on DAWs you can't you wouldn't be able to hear me on Pro Tools unless I had this broadcasting right here. So that's why it's called Restream Broadcaster or something. Patchwork is a VST patcher because they don't have an AXX for it yet. But yeah, man, that's a basic breakdown. You know, I did the master and everything. Once you're done, you know, that's the finishing product you get.
Bro,
Bro,
we not going to no
you know?
gas station. Don't
We
stop.
added the skid in. You know,
Bro, we not
we
going to
added the
no
skid
gas
in.
station. Don't stop at no gas stations.
We added the
Stop sitting
skid
at
in,
lights, run
you
them
know?
lights. Don't get nothing to eat in the city. Go on the outskirts. If you're on this side of the city, go to Jersey. If you're on this side, go to Ardmore or something. Look at gas and food. You don't gotta be in the city.
And you know, I used different parts of that. You know, I didn't use the whole conversation. It was broken down into different sections. Like, I think this is part of the convo, and that is too. But I'm not gonna play that. Some of it was personal. But that's a breakdown of the session, man. You know, automation points on it. You know, I went over everything. If you guys got any questions, you know, or whatever, you can leave them in the comments, or you like me to explain like in full detail in a future video, just let me know, man. I'll go through and you know, give super full detail. But I gave you guys a basics of stuff and, you know, certain things that I use and tips and tricks on how to do certain things with vocals and, you know, leveling things out and where a range of certain things should be. Like I said, it's the Knox, man. Thanks for tuning in, guys. You know, we'll give you a final play of the session, the master part. And then we'll give you a final play of the video, and then we'll sign out, man. How about that? Thanks for tuning in, man. I appreciate it.
Bro, we not going to no gas station. Don't stop at no gas stations. Stop sitting at lights, run them lights. Don't get nothing to eat in the city. Go on the outskirts. If you're on this side of the city, go to Jersey. If you're on this side, go to Albany or something. Look at gas and food. Don't gotta be in the city, bro. Do not stop at no gas stations. Don't be meeting motherfuckers at nighttime. Like I said, don't be sitting in no wheels for a long time. What'd he do? He didn't have to go outside and do that, bro. He could have hopped in the wheel and went home to his family, bro. He could have avoided that situation. A lot of these situations people could avoid, but it'd be pride. And motherfucking pride be getting them killed, bro.
In the shade-time calling me, but I keep declining. Record labels on my line, I told life keep responding. You really got this shit, bloody. You really got this shit, bloody. No bullshit. Oh, they throwing dirt up on the diamond. Quilly keep on shining. Stuff 42 shots up in this ladder. You gon' keep on climbing. Shooting like it's your ski. Perfect timing. Drillers with me every day. I test them and they pass the assignment. You flexing with your line money. That work on consignment. I'm posted with a rocket launcher. Rondo number 9. My feet on the land. Feet up on your bitch couch. I put my feet all in that work, nigga. Whip drought. Fear law. I put my feet all in that shit. Too up top cause I think niggas coming, but that's all in my head. Niggas came, but then they left with God, cause now them niggas. Bloody told me focus on your money, Quilly get your bread. I asked the law, remove my enemies, my friends disappeared. I got 6 figures on the line and 50,000 on the floor. I'm about to pull up and I got 20,000 at my door. Bitch, I do this day and night, Quilly really, I'll be sure. At Poppy House eating the plate, nigga, I really got it pure. Pray 5 times a day, I'm holy, bitch, my body pure. You play any time of daily, you holy, now your body sore. What you think my youngins in the field play soccer for? I done put so many points up, I ain't gotta score. Stanley trophy on my wrist from all them hockey scores. I remember standing in the rain in front of Poppy stores. My feet on the land, feet up on your bitch couch. I put my feet all in that work, nigga, whip drought. I put my feet all in that work, nigga, whip drought. My feet on the land, feet up on your bitch couch. I put my feet all in that work, nigga, whip drought.
I put my feet all in that work, nigga, whip drought. You who they saying who it is, you the one. You the top nigga. You that, who you say, top carrier.
Shit. Nah. I'm fried, Bo got me fried.
Bro, we not going to no gas station. Don't stop at no gas stations. Stop sitting at lights, run them lights. Don't get nothing to eat in the city. Go on the outskirts. If you're on this side of the city, go to Jersey. If you're on this side, go to Albany or something. Look at gas and food. Don't gotta be in the city, bro. Do not stop at no gas stations. Don't be meeting motherfuckers at nighttime. Like I said, don't be sitting in no wheels for a long time. What'd he do? He didn't have to go outside and do that, bro. He could have hopped in the wheel and went home to his family, bro. He could have avoided that situation. A lot of these situations people could avoid, but it'd be pride. And motherfucking pride be getting them killed, bro.
In the shade-time calling me, but I keep declining. Record labels on my line, I told life keep responding. You really got this shit, bloody. You really got this shit, bloody. No bullshit. Oh, they throwing dirt up on the diamond. Quilly keep on shining. Stuff 42 shots up in this ladder. You gon' keep on climbing. Shooting like it's your ski. Perfect timing. Drillers with me every day. I test them and they pass the assignment. You flexing with your line money. That work on consignment. I'm posted with a rocket launcher. Rondo number 9. My feet on the land, feet up on your bitch couch. I put my feet all in that work, nigga, whip drought. Fear law. I put my feet all in that work. Too up top cause I think niggas coming, but that's all in my head. Niggas came, but then they left with God, cause now them niggas. Bloody told me focus on your money, Quilly get your bread. I asked the law, remove my enemies, my friends disappeared. I got 6 figures on the line and 50,000 on the floor. I'm about to pull up and I got 20,000 at my door. Bitch, I do this day and night, Quilly really, I'll be sure. At Poppy House eating a plate, nigga, I really got it pure. Pray 5 times a day, I'm holy, bitch, my body pure. You play any time of day, leave you holy, now your body sore. What you think my youngins in the field play soccer for? I done put so many points up, I ain't gotta score. Stanley trophy on my wrist from all them hockey scores. I remember standing in the rain in front of Poppy stores. My feet on the land, feet up on your bitch couch. I put my feet all in that work, nigga, with drought. I put my feet all in that work, nigga, with drought. My feet on the land, feet up on your bitch couch. I put my feet all in that work, nigga, with drought.
I put my feet all in that work, nigga, with drought. You who they saying over this, you the one. You the top, nigga. You that, what you say, top carrier?
I'm fried, I'm got me fried.
You the one. You the top, nigga. You that, what you say, top carrier?